So hello, let's talk about a few SAT questions here today. All right, so number one, we have if a minus b minus 5 over 2 equals 10, then what is the value of a minus b? Notice that a minus b has repeated. These things are quite important because many times questions are written in a way that with these things in mind. Now, then what do we end up getting? Let's multiply by 2 on each side. Then we get a minus b minus 5 will be equal to 20. Next, we just have to add 5 on each side. Then we'll end up getting a minus b becomes 25. Alright, so therefore choice B would have been our answer. Number 2. We have in the figure above, line L is forms a diagonal through the square. Now, P has to be equal to T. P is the exterior angle, or exterior angle of this triangle, I guess, and T is the same way. Since it's square, we will realize that this must be 45, so is this angle. Therefore, P and then T must be 135. How about Q and R? Q and R, this is half, while this one is 90 degrees. And as you look through, the rest of them will not work. Only thing that's correct is choice number A. Number 3. If R and T are defined by the equations above, what is the value of T when C has to be equal to 3? So C is equal to 3, meaning right over here, and T is equal to 2. Then we get 12 minus 2, which is equal to 10. And then here, C was equal to 3, so we end up getting 3 plus 1 times R, which we calculated to be 10, that's equal to 40. Therefore, yes, value of T is equal to 40 over here. Number 4. Now, whenever you want to compare the table and then the graph, what we need to do is this. Make sure we look at the relationships. It is increasing by 2. How about the other side? It's decreasing by 4, decreasing by 3, 2, 1. It decreases slowly and slowly. In the beginning, it comes down a lot, and then later it kind of slows down, which will be choice number C. How about this one? X is being increased by 1, but Y is increasing by 1 and 3. So when you look into this one as they are, it's kind of difficult to tell. But one thing that we know for sure is right over here. When x equals 0, y is equal to 25, which happen to have all four of them having the same way. Now, then slope must be change of y over change of x. You see, but the ratio is not the same. Between first 2 points, the slope seems to be 1, but the second and third slope seems to be 3. So, only thing that since slopes are not the same, it may not be a linear function, so therefore, why don't we check on choice E. Here we get to realize that 25 plus x squared. In fact, once you plug in 1, then once you plug in 0, we get 25, as you can see here. Once you plug in 1, 1 squared becomes 1. 1 plus 25 becomes 26. Once you plug in 2, 2 squared becomes 4. So we realize that everything will work out. Alright, so let's look at number 6. The word between is actually quite important. Between doesn't include the endpoint. So therefore, negative 6 and positive 6 cannot be part of it. The fact that g of x equals 0, this implies the x-intercept. Then how many x-intercepts do we have? One right over here, and this is the second one. Therefore, the answer is 2. How about number 7? P is equal to y to the 8th power, Q is equal to y to the 5th power. Now, we are looking for, y to the 9th power. In fact, when you subtract, you cannot manipulate the exponents. So only way which we have to check upon is choice B and choice C. In case of B, these two values are multiplying, so therefore we'll end up getting y to the 8 plus 5 becomes 13. Entire things to the 30 power, so we end up getting y to the 39 power, not 9. On the other hand, we are looking at C, so P is equal to y to the 8th power divided by Q, which is y to the 5th power. And we know this one to be y to the 3rd power. But what it's being needed here is that we need to raise the whole thing by 3 power, which will be equal to this one. Then you will realize that we have y to the 9th power. So therefore C becomes our answer. For 5th P is 2 times the value of Q over 10. Then 4/5 P is 2 times Q over 10. Then P is what percent of Q? You see, if you have to translate this one, P is what percent. What as in X per means to divide, cent is Q. So once you multiply top and left and right side by 5/4, then you get to realize that these two cancels out, becomes 2, cancels out that 2, so we end up getting Q is right over here, so 1/4 of Q, that must be equal to P. But what is 1/4 in terms of percent? That's right, that's equal to 0.25, which in other words 25%. And we'll continue with part 2 very soon. Thank you.